Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 170th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and those sexy, sexy legends at Audio Technica. I'm your extremely humble host. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8bit. And joining me today, my partner in crime, the best co-host in the land, Miss Ellie Hart. You can find her at Miss Ellie Hart. How you doing today?
I'm good. That's the best co-host that's out there.
Oh, by a long way. Full disclosure, we don't know where Dream is. I've heard rumors he's making the next great 8-bit video game. He's actually rehashing asteroids, and instead of asteroids, actually going to be burgers coming towards your little space shuttle. So nice little Hungry Gamers crossover, hopefully. But Dreamo, wherever you are out there in the ether, we hope you're doing well. We haven't heard from you this morning, so hopefully you're not unconscious in a gutter somewhere and you're just sort of stuck in the matrix of code. So, yeah.
I know
Good
what's
luck.
happened. Valve has heard about him and his ambitions, and they've kidnapped him to start creating Half-Life 3.
Yes. Or maybe he's actually been brought on to make sure Shenmue gets released in time. So he's over there handling that nightmare of a game.
That would be one he'd love to be working on, I bet.
Yeah. So it is the A team here. The D team, nowhere to be seen. But anyway, the show must go on, as they say. So I guess we could sort of ask, what have you been doing? Tell me the things.
So a lovely regular on the show that we all know, NATO, a favourite of some. It's apparently not to one other person, but we won't go on to that too much. Open that wound. He's been very passionate about playing Minecraft recently, and from previous episodes, everyone knows that I had a stint with Minecraft. Got pretty obsessed, so I wasn't too sure if I was going to get back into it. But he's a persistent little bugger, and
He is. He's like a tick. He just burrowed in there. And you even try and rip him out and his head still stays stuck in your flesh. Like, you can't get rid of him.
A little bull ant. Yeah, so the thing is that I had this is me and my stupid buying one game on multiple devices. I had Minecraft on Xbox, but I don't really have my Xbox anymore. And then I bought one on PC, but it wasn't the right edition.
Oh, you bought the Java version.
Yes, yeah. I know you, Rach, are having some issues like with that.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mind warp trying to figure out what the hell was going on with that. So I just settled and I bought it on the Switch because it kind of makes sense to me. It's like, you can take it anywhere with you, so why the hell not? And lo and behold, I'm addicted again. Thanks a lot, Nader. Appreciate it, man.
It is a slippery slope. Like, as anyone that's listened to this pod once or twice would know, I have still never played Minecraft in my entire life. I have watched a few people play, and Archer started to play this week, and the bug has bit him as well. And started the install on Game Pass, so I've got Minecraft on the PC, and obviously I can put that on the Xbox if I wanted to as well. So we're gonna jump on and check out this realm. Is it realm or server?
No, well, it's same kind of thing. So a realm,
same.
A realm is something that someone can pay for, whereas it pretty much like it's accessible even when the person who owns it isn't online, which has been great for me considering the time difference. So
because that's what NATO's bought a realm, right?
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, we can jump in this shared world that he owns and occupies and pay the necessary amounts of rent to him that no doubt he's going to demand, and build our own little world. So I'm excited to learn the nuances of Minecraft and the various square-shaped bricks and textures. So
it's been really good, actually. And I know like NATO's also enjoying like everyone who's popping their Minecraft cherry and just seeing how, because like he and like Kaz have like been into it and they've created some awesome stuff already. So they're very like experienced, but like they're also getting to witness like newbies and seeing how they think and what they want to do with what they've got and everything. I thought I was going to be quite like knowledgeable and be like absolutely ready for this experience. But they've introduced all this other new stuff. There's more bad guys. There's all this other crazy shit that happens at nighttime. I got attacked by something called a phantom, and apparently this thing will come and attack you if you haven't slept 3 days in a row. It's nighttime and you're above a certain level, and like where I live is high up in the clouds, so I just started getting attacked by these phantom things, and it literally scared the shit out of me. Like,
damn,
I actually screamed because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
That's something you wouldn't expect from Minecraft, just like from the graphics and whatever else. You wouldn't think that there would be any shock value or scary moments like that.
Wait till you like enter a cave and like come face to face with a creeper. Like the level of anxiety that sometimes comes to your system when you go like underground. Oh. And then you get like that claustrophobic thing as well.
But that's where those good elements are, right? You got to go underground to find some of that good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff's underground. So
yes.
It should be interesting to see like you finally give it a go and seeing what you take away from it. Because I don't know, I feel like Minecraft isn't always for everyone, but everyone can maybe find their own way to play it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that is sort of the most appealing thing to me in that game, is where you could go into the underworld or whatever it's called and get amongst all that, or you can just build and, you know, live your simple farm life, you know, grow some food and have some animals and just live that life, or build massive big sprawling castles on cliff faces, or as you said, like you're up in the clouds or something you just said. So
I'm in the sky.
So it really is your sort of block shaped oyster. So I'm excited to sort of see what I take out of it, because at the moment I have no idea what I'm wanting out of the game. Yeah. But I'll probably realize pretty quick once I'm in this world of NATO what I'm looking for. Well,
is it both you and Rach jumping on?
Yeah, we're gonna build a big settlement. I think the inner rivalry we've sort of decided between ourselves is we're gonna try and outbuild NATO and Kaz's massive big house and home, and we've seen it. We got taken on the tour. Like, he's proud as punch. Like, I remember down at PAX, he whipped his phone out and he logged into his server on his phone, and he's taking us around, and yeah, he's got some stuff going on there, so it's going to be quite the grind to ascend to that level. But that's the challenge we've set ourselves. So we'll see how it goes.
Should be interesting. Look forward to that. And as of just a few hours ago, I started playing The Outer Worlds, and oh my god, I went into this game with no expectation. I actually had no intention of playing this game at all. Wasn't on my radar. Didn't really care. But the reviews have just been consistently good.
Oh, yeah.
Like
86 really on Metacritic.
Yeah. And it's a part of Game Pass. So free to play. Apparently it's a phenomenal game. Yeah, why the hell not? Why not give it a try? And oh my god, I can see why people love this game. For starters, it is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic environment. Like the land that you first, essentially crash onto, it's gorgeous. Like, it's a lot of like Destiny space atmosphere vibes that I get from it, like just very beautiful, like breathtaking, like space and astral matter in the sky. But then there's for me, I'd say Borderlands, like the way it's kind of deteriorating environment, like of like buildings and whatnot and space, machinery. But I think it's based on news that we'll talk about later, but it also has that very Fallout vibe as well.
Yeah. Like, obviously, Obsidian, who did New Vegas, made this, and you hear a lot of this is New Vegas in space type of situations and ways to describe this game. I'm still yet to play. I preloaded this thing a few weeks ago on the Xbox, and I was keen as anything. And then I wanted to play it Thursday. Work just whooped me in the ass. And then yesterday I intended to play it, but then I really wanted pizza for dinner. So we went out to this Italian wood-fired place that you got to drive to. It's a little bit of a trek, but it's like, in my opinion, probably the best pizza in Brisbane. Like, nice and simple Italian wood fire, minimal ingredients. It's magical. Pizzeria Violetta, it's called. It is the business. And then by the time we got home, I had to do the NBA fantasy basketball draft. So did that, then watch RuPaul, and then it's like, fuck, I gotta go to bed. Like, I'm so tired.
I only just caught up on RuPaul.
Yeah, so it's locked and loaded. So you watched the latest episode?
Yeah.
So Vinegar went last week, and you know who went this week?
I do, yeah. I don't know if it's
cool.
spoilers for our listeners who also...
Yeah, check out RuPaul, though. Like, it's starting to step up. Like, it felt to me, completely off track, it felt to me at first like this was like a B series of RuPaul, and like the production value wasn't as hot. The drag queens weren't as talented.
Polished
and
is what I would...
mean thing to say. Yeah, but it's starting to step up, I think. And the polish is there. The snatch game they did, that Donald Trump impersonation was magic. A lot of the others were shit ass, but the Donald Trump
Trump one was pretty phenomenal. It was actually probably, she was too good. Like, there was a few things that she said that, like, I say she, but like, you know, the saying as Donald Trump, and it just made me uncomfortable and laugh. But yeah. If anyone that actually listens to the Hungry Gamers is into RuPaul, let me and Brendan know, because we've got this like secret thing going on that we're absolutely obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race, and we've even like made a joke about making a podcast. So
yeah, I think the next US season we should do like weekly recap episodes and sort of review them and give our hot takes, because it's a cracker of a show.
It is really good.
Just the writing and the talents and the personalities and the special guests. It's just good fun. Like it's reality TV and it's a bit trashy, but like that's the lane they're in. Like they're doubling down on that and just exceeding week by week.
This actually requires some talent though. So
yeah, like the makeup and the costume play and the transformations that they can do just at the drop of a hat, like them little quick, 15-minute express ones they've got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Outer Worlds, I'm so keen to play it. That, Destiny 2, and also Minecraft is on the slate for this weekend, so God help me there to try and fit all that
in the one weekend.
Yeah. So that's my broad ambition for this weekend. But the Outer Worlds, it looks so good.
Oh, it is great. I think everyone that is, I've got to disclaim here that I've never played a Fallout game ever. So
wow.
Yeah. So that's why like I didn't want to 100% say that it could have been reminiscent of Fallout, because I personally have only just seen Fallout. I haven't played it, but from what I took from what I played, to me, I could get like that vibes based on what I know. So this is probably going to be my first experience, and then anything after that, I'll be like, oh, that Fallout game's really like the
yeah. But it's as you sort of touched on at the start, like anyone that's umming and ahhing about this and doesn't want to drop the full slate of cash, just sign up temporarily to Game Pass and download this game. Like $10 a month can get you access to this
and other games. You can get Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears 5's on there, like Forza, you name it. Minecraft, you can get Minecraft on there.
Yeah, join us, suckers.
Yeah, but Game Pass is fantastic. Obviously, Obsidian's owned by Microsoft now, so it's cool to see them get a slight leg up and probably shift more sales to Xbox or Microsoft as opposed to PlayStation 4, because you can get it at that drastically reduced price. But I can't wait to play it. I cannot wait to play it. All the trailers, I've seen a ton of gameplay, watched a few little streams of the starts the other day, and yeah, I am hyped to dive in and get lost. I love a good sci-fi game. Love a good sort of spacey RPG feel. So yeah, sign me up.
Full warning, if you have like a certain amount of hours to play this game, when you start, just start like 10, maybe 15. If you're like me, maybe 20 minutes early, because you do have character creation at the start, and it's not as in depth as like Skyrim or anything like that, but there's some detail in there, so make sure you set that time aside just to build your character at the start before you actually really get into gameplay.
I love a good character creator.
Oh, same. I've skipped to the I want to make how I would like myself to look.
I sort of transitioned that way too. I'm like, let's
get older, you're like,
I could make myself better than what I actually am in real life, so let's go. But you won't be making yourself better in one of the games I had a dabble in this week, and I actually jumped into the dumpster fire known as WWE 2K20. And holy moly, it is buggier than a cockroach infestation.
Oy.
anyone that's been on social media this week would have seen the various dramas attached and the hashtag that was scrolling around. What was it? Fix WWE 2K20 was the hashtag. Just the glitches in game, in character creation. We'll talk about it in more detail in the news, but yeah, WWE 2K20 is a mess. Yeah, like I'm happy I got given a key because I would not have happily parted with my money knowing where it is at the moment. Like I think it's about a 4 point something or rather on Metacritic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like I think it was 41 or so on Metacritic, if I remember right. So it is not reviewing very well. The internet is angry. There is so many memes and GIFs already circulating just based off the glitches and what have you. But yeah, the mighty have fallen as far as wrestling games go. And the other massive game that I took part in earlier this week, Rach and I played through I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator.
I have to know how this was.
It's good fun.
Yeah.
It is so dumb and so over the top, and just KFC meets any high school related anime. It's just so ridiculous. Like there's one of your teachers is like a talking corgi. Mr. Sanders himself, or Colonel as he refers to himself in the game, is just, this insanely handsome, debonair, like up-and-coming chef that's just invented KFC, and then you invent the mashed potato and gravy and the coleslaw and all this shit, and you're trying to woo him over, and you've got your rivals, and you have like cooking battles, and you've got some quirky friends. Like one of the other people you go to this cooking school with, it only runs for 3 days, mind you. You're a fully fledged high-end chef after 3 days of culinary school. There's like a robot that you're in there with. There's a guy his name's Bob, but he's the equivalent of like Ralph Wiggum. He's sort of on that level. And then you've got your rivals, obviously Ashley, which is just spelt really weird, and her big muscle-clad offsider that you're constantly fighting against and trying to win the love of Colonel Sanders. But it was good, dumb fun. Like it's free to play. I think it took us about maybe 3 hours-ish to run through it, and there's replayability based off your decisions and your actions, so you can fail in certain parts and have to restart depending on the choices you make, or maybe the Colonel falls out of love with you, or you don't go the right way. So yeah, like who would have thought KFC would have published a game for one, but also one as quirky and as unique as this. Like there's some great product placement. Like there is just some good subtle nods to KFC, and like we're playing and I'm sitting there going, mate, we need to go get a bucket.
That was going to be my question. After playing this game, did you feel like eating KFC?
I did. Like I feel like eating KFC most days, but more so when we were playing this. But yeah, PsyOp was the developer behind this, who I don't know much about, but like this was a good, fun dating simulator. The art was great. The soundtrack was cool. Just the quirky, zany, over-the-topness that they just embraced was cool fun. So if anyone that's a fan of dating sims, I know we talked about like these on the previous episode. Anyone's a fan, give it a look because it don't cost you nothing, and it's a good few hour run through.
I really hope that they do some kind of like behind the scenes, or just like I want to know like kind of like what made them think about doing this, like who actually said let's do it. I also want to know exactly like difference between how much money was spent on developing a dating sim game and then how that would contrast to like doing a standard like marketing thing, like advertisement pushes or anything like that, and just seeing like just how they approached it. Was it successful? Was it worth the investment kind of thing? Because it's like you said, it's a free game. It's not like they're charging people. So it's like playing an advertisement.
It's very smart. Like those subliminal messages in there, and just the subtle product placements and describing the chicken and things like that. Like it gets you like actively thinking about going to get some Colonel, but you're playing a game. It's not just a splash on the television or a billboard you drive past. Like it's got that sort of long withstanding sort of embedding in your mind. So yeah, it was cool. But I'd be really curious to see, as you said, like the cost versus reward that they're getting on this as opposed to a traditional marketing campaign. We should try and dig that up because that'd be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, like KFC has already started like slowly sneaking themselves in the way of gaming, like, you know, kind of establishing themselves in the gaming environment as just like a standard. Like I guess as like, you know, Doritos and Mountain Dew. I think they got involved with Fortnite is what I'm trying to remember. I believe they got involved with that. And
they've even got like the certified KFC gaming handles on social media and stuff. So they're going to be doing a lot more of a push into that space. That's for sure.
Oh man, yeah. I just hope they follow this and like document it because I would just love to know. I just want to know the thought process and everything that goes on behind it, and it's just because it's different, it's unique, and.
Yeah, it's certainly a contrast to like you think of like Mad Men when it's just a bunch of fat cats sitting around smoking cigars, drinking scotches, and they're like Kentucky Fried Chicken, and instead now it's all stuff like this, which is it's really cool. Like it's very new age.
Yeah, I was gonna like I won't elaborate on it too much, but I just realized that a lot of companies actually did that back in the prime of like PC gaming, where I think over here in the States they had a lot of cereal companies, and Burger King had a game. As well. Nice. So, like, I think, like, once upon a time it was done. They kind of, you know, entered the gaming atmosphere. But, yeah, now KFC's coming and bringing it back, and apparently they brought it hard.
Hell yeah. I'd play a McDonald's dating sim where you got to try and woo over, like, Ronald or Grimace or Birdie or Hamburglar, whatever your kink is. Like, there's a flavor for everybody there. So,
Giant
maybe you got to win over the king. Maybe the BK makes one, or... I can't really think of any other big food-based mascots. Like, you wouldn't mention Jared from Subway because obviously he's now a pedophile. So, yeah, eat fresh, doing 7 to 10, mate. But
totally
yeah,
cool.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think anyway. Yeah, that's some weeds we probably don't want to be stuck in. That's for sure. But what other food-based mascots are there? They're the only real ones that come to mind. Hey.
Like for the fast food chains?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for Australia, that's it. They've got this creepy one over here for Jack in the Box.
Oh, yeah, Jack in the Box.
He's creepy. Like, I like their ads. He's actually quite, like, kind of dry humor, but it's a ball with a cone on its head. Like, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of something that should have been in. Remember Alfred and Friends or whatever it was called? Yeah. No, Johnson and Friends.
Johnson and Friends, yeah.
Yeah.
Those toys.
He wouldn't have looked out of place on that show.
No, he would fit right in.
And if you guys and girls want to fit right in, head on over to weare8bit.storeenvy.com and grab yourself some of the best merch in the video game space. As I said, we have got bum bags, we've got visors, we've got jewelry releasing this coming week. We've even just had the first sample that I've arrived of, remember the brand Champion?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've done a Champion Varsity Bomber crossover with 8-Bit. So it's
a
Champion
serious?
Varsity with the 8-Bit logo stitched on the left breast or the left chest plate sort of space there. I haven't taken any photos of it, but it came out really, really good. And also got the first 8-Bit backpack as well. Got one of those, was running around PAX, and it came out looking pretty schmick. So weare8bit.storeenvy.com. Grab yourself some merch. It helps us out a little bit as well, but also makes you look and feel good because it is the best merch in the gaming space. If you want to support us in other ways, patreon.com/weare8bit. For as little as $1, you'll get early access to the 8-Bit cast, as well as access to exclusive competitions, giveaways, and swag you can't find anywhere else. And if you don't want to support us monetarily, that is fine. Obviously, the easiest way to support us is to rate, review, subscribe us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your podcast player of choice is, because those reviews help keep the emotional lights on in our hearts. And be sure to do the same to all the other podcasts you're listening to in your circulation. But let's move into some news, shall we?
This week's news headlines.
And the first one, you get a delay. You get a delay. Everybody gets a delay. Not the best Oprah I've ever done. But 2012 might have been the year of Gangnam Style, and 2017 was the year of Donald Trump. But 2019 may as well be known as the year of the delay. Here is a list of all the notable video game release dates that have slipped so far. And obviously, this falls onto the back of a couple of big ones that dropped this past week. And the biggest one, at least in my opinion, The Last of Us Part 2 has been shifted from February 21st, 2020 into May 2020. And Naughty Dog just said they need a bit more time because we realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game up to a level of polish we would call Naughty Dog quality. I think that's fair. You know, they make just about perfect classic games the second they've been released. The Last of Us is critically acclaimed, known as one of the best games of any recent generation, to be honest. And pushing this thing back 3 months, I don't think it's a big deal. I'm happy to wait. The next one's probably a little bit sore for yourself. Animal Crossing New Horizons, which was slated to release this year, obviously has been pushed back until March of 2020. Mm-hmm. So, it's getting close. Still not as close as you'd like.
No. It was
patiently waiting.
Yeah, patiently waiting. Like, yes, it was for the right reasons. So that's what I'll say.
Yeah. Obviously, another one that we got delayed until God knows when, Metroid Prime 4, which they've decided to go right back to the start again, scrap everything they'd done, and Ground Zero, the current project, and rebuild from the ground up. So that is one that's going to face probably a multi-year delay. Another one that came through tied into one of the sort of Ubisoft board meetings this past week, Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods of Monsters. They've all been delayed from that March 6th or 7th into the Ubisoft fiscal year, which rolls until the following year. So these three games, they haven't updated the release dates on them yet, but they're going to drop now sometime between March 6th and March 5th of 2021. So they're all out in the ether right now. Very vague, very broad strokey. Rainbow Six Quarantine moved the needle ever so slightly at E3. Gods and Monsters, not really for me. Watch Dogs Legions I'm excited for. I really like the Watch Dogs franchise and just the over-the-top zaniness you can do with it. But yeah, who knows when they're dropping now. So that's a little
March
bit of a,
was a busy month, so
yeah,
it might be for the best.
Yeah, and then obviously the next one tied in nicely to March. So Doom Eternal, which was meant to be releasing next month on November 22nd, has been pushed back until March 20th of 2020. That is a rough one. Looks great, feels great. Had a little bit of a touch on that at PAX Australia, and it is, the Doom you know and love. Get hyped to play some more Doom and kill the spawn of hell yet another time around, but with a little bit more verticality this time, which is pretty cool. The next one, Well We Believe Dream, is currently knee deep in code. Shenmue 3 delayed that many times. It's apparently coming out next month. I would be holding my breath because I trust this game and these developers as far as I can throw them. And especially now Dream's on the case.
Yeah.
This might not come out till 2025 now Dreamo's over there.
That's true. I am looking forward. I'm not going to play this game. I'm just going to say that. But I am looking forward to just seeing what came out of it. Like, after everything that surrounded itself. Like, I want to see what comes out. Because
I don't think it's going to review very well. It's probably going to look last gen in graphics. Like, some of the trailers and the sizzle reels they've dropped on this game to try and maintain that level of hype just seem to be going the opposite direction. Like, it's just like, really? What? Like, it's just last gen, meh. I wasn't a big Shenmue guy, but yeah. Anyway, and the last one that has occurred in the past week or so as well, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which was slated for release in Q1 of 2020, has been delayed until no one knows. So I'm assuming it's going to be 2020 at some stage, but they haven't given us a revised date. But they just wanted to add the extra time to ensure the game lives up to the legacy of the original Bloodlines game. And that was done, quote, direct from Hardsuit Labs. So yeah, some big titles there with some slips. Some not too bad, like a few months here or there. Others just thrown out into the ether that they're coming at a later date. So
it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to start changing how developers and overall publishers and industry projecting release dates, because delays just seem like a common thing now. Like why do these happen? Like, is it just because shareholders and all that bullshit in the background that's pushing them to give dates and, being ready for E3 and giving dates for E3s and game show awards and all that sort of bullshit? Or, are they pushing themselves too thin? Like, I know it's going to be a majority of things, but I just don't think as a group gamers are going to accept all the games that they've been waiting for, majority AAA, constantly being pushed back.
And I think that's sort of something that annoys me a little bit, like this sense of entitlement that a lot of us have. We want it now, even if it is undercooked. We want it today, and then you get it today, and then you're angry and talking about how shit it is. Like you look at WWE 2K20, it could have used a 4 or 6 month pushback to potentially get it to where it needs to be. So I obviously I have small levels of patience, and I want things sooner rather than later. But if it's a franchise or a product, whether it be a game, a film, a book, a TV show, whatever it is, if they need to push it back to get it to the level and the standard that they want to hold it at, which is obviously a high standard, I'm happy with that. And like, I got no skin in the game. I'm not paying tens of thousands or millions of dollars to develop these things. I'm just a consumer wanting to play or witness the best product. So yeah, I'm happy to wait. Like the Last of Us thing, I got no issues with that. Like I saw a heap of vile tweets getting spat around at Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann and things like that on social media during the week. And it's just like, mate, just fuck off. Just be better. Just appreciate that they're making it in the first place.
Well, yeah, that for starters. But yeah, there's obviously groups out there in the gaming industry that make us all look bad. I guess it's just more, it's becoming a regular occurrence. Like I'm like you, I don't usually really care. Animal Crossing broke my heart, but
yeah,
for the most part, like I handle it. But it's becoming a regular thing. Like these ones are the ones that have happened like recently, but obviously there have been still a few that push back a few months, push back indefinitely, or
even
just
Shadowkeep
cancelled.
got pushed back a couple of weeks.
It did. So yeah, I wonder if it's something that they're gonna start working on, or if it's just gonna be the norm.
I think it will probably be the norm. Like I think they're just trying to push so much into these games or these mediums with such a short amount of time, and whoever at the top has decided on some of these dates, and they just push towards it. And then when they're getting closer and closer to that date and they realize, man, this isn't where it needs to be. Like this crunch thing is obviously very real and whatever else. Maybe it is just overreaching and over ambition to try and think they can turn around these things in a shorter amount of time. But yeah, it's going to be something that's not going to go away, I don't think.
Anytime soon, I guess.
No, just be like Beyonce and just drop things without any promotion. Just be like, mate, my album's out right now. Go buy it. Or like, with Fallout.
Well, we know that there's been like a lot of games that have actually just been kind of like under the radar and that have dropped and just actually blown up. Like
Apex recently.
Well, actually, yeah, Apex is a very good example of it. But I'm trying to remember what the name of that game was. The one with the girl and she had voices in her head.
Oh, Hellblade.
Yeah, that's it, Hellblade. So, like, that was one that barely anyone knew about. There was good people that were following it, but then for the majority of us, it was just like, boom, here's this amazing game. Everyone freaking loves it. So,
and it sort of almost singles back to what we were talking about with the I Love You, Colonel Sanders, is like traditional marketing. Is that still the way to go, where you have these long, slow builds to try and generate interest and just sprinkle little breadcrumbs of info and trailers and screenshots?
Just Stranding.
Yeah, or do you just go this other route where it's like this guerrilla marketing? It's just boom, here's the product, or it's coming out next month, get hyped. Like,
yeah. And then
I'm more of the new school train of thought on that, I think.
I think so too. I think we've all been pleasantly surprised by just a game being dropped and just word of mouth. Like, we're a community that likes to fucking talk, example. But, word of mouth, this is a great game. Have you played this game? And then everyone just picks it up. So yeah, maybe there's a new way to go about it.
I think so. I'm in complete agreement there. And the next bit of news, big name Twitch streamer Michael Shroud Greziek signs up as Mixer exclusive. This comes via way of Matt Wales at Eurogamer. Microsoft has snapped up another big name Twitch streamer for its Mixer streaming platform, this time in the form of Shroud. Greziek is a former professional CSGO player, has amassed over 7 million followers on Twitch and over 13 billion with a B stream minutes watched, making him one of the biggest streamers on the platform. I've grabbed a couple little dot points here from a little bit of research because I wanted to try and stick this to Dream, because we've been having discussions about Mixer here and there, and he's tried to poo-poo it and saying that nothing else really going to happen of this magnitude. But now 2 of the top 3 largest Twitch streamers, and this is based off follow account, are now exclusive to Mixer. So Ninja was number 1, Tfue was number 2, and then Shroud is number 3. So they've grabbed 2 of the top 3 based off follow account exclusively on Mixer now. Mixer is up 188% as far as views and hours and what have you over the past 3 months, according to Streamlabs data. The number of unique channels streaming on the platform has doubled in the same time frame from 1.95 to 3.9 million. And the total number of hours people spent streaming on the platform skyrocketed from 11.3 to 36.2 million over the last couple of months. So it's on the up. Obviously, it is still the smaller fish in the pond because it is only making up around 3.2% of the market share in terms of overall hours watched. YouTube is the other sort of bigger fish, and then obviously the kingpin in this pond is Twitch, which make up around 75% of the hours watched based off the last quarter's numbers. So they are still the lead dog in this fight, but it's cool to see that Mixer is still on the upswing. This is a huge get. Obviously, there's probably a undisclosed amount of money that is getting thrown at Shroud to jump across too. And also a little tidbit, he's part of the same management group that also manages Ninja. So maybe there's a little bit of buddy come across here, I'll make it worth your while, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool to see. It's exciting and gives Mixer another very big heavy hitter in its roster. But yeah, what do you think about all this?
I think actually when the Ninja announcement happened, I said well, obviously Twitch will be smart and they'll, push someone else up to the top. And my actual take was, they should really push Shroud. Because of all the big names on Twitch, I really don't enjoy anyone's content. But Shroud's pretty grounded. He's pretty down to earth kind of thing. So I actually
he's
don't
no
mind
drama.
him. Yeah, that's exactly
He just jumps on, plays games, and
plays
absolutely
really
dominates
well.
every shooter he ever touches.
Yeah, and he's just so placid, cool, laid back. So I'm totally okay with him. So I thought Twitch was going to be quickly, let's grab the good ones, and they fucking let him slip through their fingers. So
yeah,
it's Microsoft against Amazon, so money wise, but in the same sense, that share that difference between Twitch having such a huge percentage, I think they based it on Fortnite, when the viewership of everyone watching that Fortnite event, there was this massive pie chart, and Twitch took over the majority of it, then YouTube, and then there was this little tiny section that was Mixer. So I know they're trying to develop the audience and build the community in there, but whether it's taking the big names over there and putting them down as anchors so everyone else kind of starts to float over there, but it's definitely going to take some time, a lot of time.
It's going to be another 12 months, 18 months until we start seeing that market share, that 3.2% maybe getting closer to, let's say 10%, which is probably a bit generous to think that it might take 10 points in the next 12 months. I think it's doable, and that might knock down Twitch to still in 65% or so. So they're still going to be the leaders of this pack. It's very interesting to say the least, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen with their numbers between now and Christmas. Obviously, Mixer are very smart. They're offering free 1-month subscriptions to Shroud for any person on Mixer. So they can migrate that subscription straight across to Shroud straight away with no sort of impact on their wallet. But yeah, having 2 of the top 3 and having 2 ex-pro shooter players on their roster, this just screams new Halo's coming up. We've now got our 2 figureheads. They're going to be the face of this Halo marketing campaign moving forward when it releases at the tail end of 2020 with the new Xbox console. So yeah, it's exciting times. I love seeing a bit of competition. Obviously, I'm a bit of a Microsoft homer, so it's good to see them swinging for the fences again. Will they hit the home run? We don't know, but at least they're in the game and having a crack.
Well, definitely. There's already been a lot of drama that's been created between the two. I mean, there's been a bunch of things that have happened where Twitch events or Twitch, staffers or popular Twitch streamers actually have like been saying things and Ninja's found out, and then he'll be like saying his opinion on it and saying like, oh, that's just bad. Like, oh, there was the thing where Twitch actually started using Ninja's platform, like his channel or his old like landing page, and then there was the incident with the pornography that was being streamed on there. So, you know, so there's going to be a drama now. I guess there's competition, and competition's good. I never really knew if YouTube was competition or if it was just there. It was an alternative.
Yeah, no, they've got a decent market share. Looking at the numbers, I think they had a little under 20 points, I think, from what I could see. I didn't record it on the doc here, but yeah, they had about 20 points of the market. So they're a big player in that space. Obviously, Facebook Gaming's dabbling and trying to make itself something as well. But yeah, I think you sort of put it best there. Like, competition's good. It makes everyone sort of strive to be better. So
and Twitch needed it, by the way. Twitch really needed a kick in the butt. So
amen. Yeah, I don't think they want to be better. They just want to be bigger.
Yeah.
Let's bring all the controversial stuff. Maybe they're gonna like buy only cams or something and weave that in where there can just be a little naughty sex section.
Some of those streamers out there, they're already providing that kind of service.
Yes. Also, services getting provided, or in this case, refunded. Sony are issuing refunds for faulty WWE 2K20. And I've got a little bit of news here and info from Hayden Taylor at Game Informer. PlayStation has begun issuing refunds for WWE 2K20 after the game was pulled apart by fans for its copious glitches and bugs. Some have said bugs, which I talked about earlier during my experience with the game. The latest entry to 2K Games' annual wrestling franchise has become the talk of the town, and for all the wrong reasons, after fans began sharing footage of how extensively broken the game was. Along with missing items from the collector's edition, there are broken in-game features and graphical bugs that make Assassin's Creed Unity look like a launch day success. Obviously, we talked about the hashtag fix WWE 2K20. It's a hashtag that's circulating around, but the big thing, and probably where you can connect the dots from here as far as where the issues lie. Back in August, WWE 2K developer Ukes parted ways with the franchise after 20 years making officially licensed wrestling games. California-based studio Visual Concepts took over the franchise, having worked alongside Ukes on the game since 2014. No explanation was given for the decision, despite it coming just months before launch. However, in May, Ukes senior vice president and producer Hiromi Furuta said the developer was going to establish a second team to work on a new wrestling title, hoping to reinvigorate the studio with internal competition. I'm going to put my money on the line here and say that new wrestling title is probably going to be an AEW licensed title, which is the main competitor to WWE. But yeah, it looks like Visual Concepts were just left with this sort of festering game. Yeah. And 2K have said, mate, you've got 4 months. Get us a game to market. And we've gotten this dumpster fire. But at least Sony are issuing refunds for anyone that's purchased it digitally.
They had to.
I know EB and things like that are also doing similar. But yeah, this game is it's a mess. As I said, 41 on Metacritic. So yeah, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, definitely. And so usually, first of all, I don't think these WWE games have like always been perfect. And for one thing, I always know with the WWE release, there was always glitches. There was always like weird instances that would happen, much like in UFC games. So I always look forward to when a new WWE game comes out because glitches happen. I didn't know that it was going to be on this level. Like it was just full on glitches. So like I said, it's never been a perfect game, but to be, I guess, this bad, it unfortunately speaks volumes. And graphically, people were posting up a lot of screenshots saying that, like, you know, I think they were using a comparison of Rock from like a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, no, that was the comparison I saw of that was actually had a photo of an actual Rock and used his character model from WWE 2K20, and they were like, he actually looks more realistic as a Rock as opposed to the character model. Like, yeah, it is. It looks like some last gen sort of facial animations and sort of capture work. It is very, very rough. Very rough. Yeah. What's happening, 2K? What is happening?
Yeah, like, and the thing is that having Ukes now kind of like splitting off, like they left in August And I know I've been seeing advertisements, I think before August, for this game. And I also feel bad for the wrestlers. Like, I don't feel like that bad. They get paid good money. But imagine having to be out there. Like, they really push the wrestlers to push this game. Like, I felt like I saw a lot of marketing for this game. So maybe they knew they were screwed. I don't know.
Yeah, it was it's rough sledding, that's to say the least. And like, I'm a big wrestling fan and love wrestling games, and this game just flat out sucks. That 41 is very, maybe it's debatably justified, maybe it should be lower, I don't know, but no doubt there's going to be a big old patch that's going to try and fix some of these things, but it might be too little too late. I think the pitchforks and the angry mob has assembled, and maybe we see Ukes pop up next year with this AEW announcement, and we see some John Moxley and Kenny Omega and stuff getting the next gen treatment.
Do you reckon they'll succeed? Do you reckon that has already established a good fan base?
I think so. Especially like they could collaborate and do a crossover with like New Japan and sort of work it in that way. So there's some opportunities there to make it happen.
Well, it should be interesting. Like we said, competition's good.
Let's keep rocking and rolling. We got 2 more bits of news here, and the next one is one of the biggest WTF moments of 2019, I think. And Bethesda has introduced its first Fallout subscription, and this ties into Fallout 76. This comes via way of Rebecca Valentine at gamesindustry.biz. So this Fallout subscription, it costs $12.99 USD a month, or $99.99 a year. So $100 a year for a game that is still not free to play, mind you. And most notably, it gives subscribers access to their own private world server that can be used by the subscriber and up to 7 other players, regardless of their subscription status. Other perks include a storage for infinite in-game crafting components, which I can understand because load management and inventory capacity is a thing and a real pain in the ass. A fast travel camp that can be placed anywhere, another cool item. 1,650 atoms per month, which is in-game currency, worth about $1 per 100 atoms. So it's about, $16.50. So you're getting more atoms worth than you're paying for your subscription, which makes sense, and some unique cosmetics. Bethesda has said that the private worlds, a feature that has been asked for by users for some time now, will be moddable at some point in the future, but are not moddable currently. Private worlds will function identically to the public server of the game. So Fallout 76, the bug-ridden release from Bethesda, the canvas bag melodrama, has now decided to create a whole new set of dramas by releasing a subscription service for this game. As I said, the game is still not free to play, so you need to buy the game and then buy the subscription, where the notable features are you can play this game solo without anyone else in the world playing with you, or with up to 7 friends. Like, this is just some weird tone-deaf shit.
This is crazy, because to me it's like this game already lost so many people, and there was always this establishment that there was this dedicated fan base that was sticking to it. They made it work, they enjoyed it, and they were still playing it. Imagine them coming out now saying, hey, you dedicated people who've been playing, fuck you. Pay more money, we want more money from you. This is no, it's not. But who are they marketing to? As a consumer, are you now going to be like, yeah, actually, now I do want to play Fallout 76? No.
I'm right in the weeds on this. Like, I've lived the Fallout 76 life. Obviously, I've had the dramas with the canvas bag gate and everything else like that. So I'm still a little bit battered and bruised from Fallout 76. But I don't know, it's just the game still isn't complete in my opinion. Like, there's still no human-based NPCs in this game, and obviously it ties into the story and apocalypse and blah, 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 blah. So I can loosely go, okay, you get a half pass on this, but the game, the numbers and the player counts just seem to be dropping on the reg. And then things like this, it just seems like a little bit of just a blatant grab for some cash from Bethesda. Where they need to sort of get their own backyard sorted first before worrying about bringing out a subscription service and whatever else. Like, I love Fallout games and I love Bethesda, but 76 just was watered down poo.
Yeah, and like, I get also if you're looking from that Elder Scrolls Online aspect, yeah, Elder Scrolls Online also did start off with like a really bad release and it was really trashy, and then yeah, it had to develop itself and stuff. But I just, especially I guess in this environment with a game that was, you know, tied to such a popular franchise like Elder Scrolls, but Fallout 76 already like shot themselves in the foot based on some article I read recently. Everyone that was like sticking to it, they were just constantly just getting more and more punished, where updates would contain more glitches. People would like get certain glitches that would make them invisible or something. And then there was also like a looting system where high level items were behind a wall or something like that, and people were glitching through. And, you know, then there was like a banning issue where Bethesda was like banning the wrong people and, you know, stuffing up other people's games, where they would come back and they have lost everything. And then Bethesda was like, sorry, we can't do anything about that. Just start again. So I just think that based on all that sort of stuff, when you can be dedicated to, you know, a franchise and show your support so much, just to have them come back at it again and saying, we need more money.
Yeah.
So
I think they need to shift, like make this game free to play and make this then the model. I think that way would probably work a bit better, especially for newer players, where it goes free to play, $12 a month or whatever, and you get some perks. Yeah, Fallout 76, mate. I've lived this wasteland, and it is not pretty out there. Like, it is high stress. I'm a vault hunter. I'm a very sad and downtrodden vault hunter after experiences in this game, but you know what? I eventually got my canvas bag, so I'll give them that. At least they delivered on that promise after shivering me the first time round, but we'll see. I'll be curious to see once these numbers start trickling in, what the subscriber level is as far as this uptake on the subscription service they're doing for 76. The last bit of news, bizarre one. Conan O'Brien watches a Death Stranding trailer with Kojima and gets put into the game. This comes via Eddie McCorsh and Richard Wakeling at GameSpot. To hype the upcoming release of Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima invited comedian and late-night TV show host Conan O'Brien to his office for a behind-the-scenes look at the game. It went about as well as you would think, as Conan spent his time cracking jokes and ribbing with Kojima through a translator. Upon viewing a Death Stranding trailer and meeting BB for the first time, Breach Baby, Conan said to Kojima, "What's wrong with you?" Hideo Kojima has since revealed that Conan's appearance in Death Stranding wasn't just a joke for the show. The red-headed comedian is actually in the game. Conan O'Brien appears as a prepper. And then in quotes, "the wandering MC in Death Stranding," Kojima tweeted, "You get Sea Otter suit when you get connected with him. With this suit, you'll be able to swim easily in the river. You won't be drifted away. BB would be happy as well," end quote. Apologies for the broken English there. That obviously was from Kojima's Twitter handle directly. But yeah, Conan O'Brien in the game. I watched the little snapshots there and some brief video of him where he is giving Sam, the main character in Death Stranding, the Sea Otter suit. What the fuck?
It's the first thing that I actually thought about this was when they were showing him like playing that character, like just sitting there, like just talking to the main character Sam. At first I thought, oh, so Jeff Keighley isn't special then. Like, that's the first thing I thought, because I think they showed that, was it at E3 or the Game Awards or something? Like, that was like a little snippet that they showed, and he was like so hyped about it. So now he did it for Conan. I'm like, oh, it's not so special. But
just one of the many.
just one of his. But the actual, like, the otter hat, and then actually seeing Sam's, like, the character like floating on his back, and he even does the chest like
like he's breaking things on his chest.
Yeah, breaking like clams on his chest as well. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is just so bizarre. Like, it's great, and it's very on brand. Like, you know, Kojima does do some very interesting things in his games and opens up some customization and some weird quirkiness. But yeah, Conan O'Brien in there. I wonder how many other secret celebrity cameos we're going to see in Death Stranding.
I mean, the thing goes with Death Stranding, it's probably been one of the biggest, longest hype games probably our industry has seen for quite some time. So, and, you know, previously we were talking about like advertisement and how, like, you know, these game developers have been like selling their games with like little smidgens throughout the year, throughout, you know, multiple years, and Kojima's been doing it. I've never seen a game.
Like, this has been going for what now, 5 years, something like that. Like it's been a very long gestation period, and it started with revealing their logo, and then a bit of stuff with Redis, and it's just trickled through there, and crazy trailers. Like it's interesting because you think for such a long marketing campaign you'd probably be sick of it by now, but then they just keep doing these weird kooky things that get the world talking again and hypothesizing about what the heck's going to happen next.
I mean, based on like whether I want to buy or play this game, I've actually if this game probably could have come out and I wouldn't have known. I don't really care to play the game. I probably will more watch someone else play it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know. My care factor for this game is more, I guess, like, although maybe I'll play that story mode that he's entered in, because the story has me intrigued, but I don't know, like, I've never really played a Metal Gear Solid game, so I don't have that kind of, like, attachment of, like, this is the next level, this is his next thing. Like, I don't have that attachment. Well, I don't know. Like I said, this seems like one of those. No, because this to me seems like one of those drawn out, long story based games that I think our audience has discovered I don't really enjoy. You know, we're talking about Last of Us being pushed back, and you're like, oh, you know, I don't really care. I'm like, well, speak for yourself. Like, I really don't care. Like, I feel like I'm one of the only people that's not looking forward to that game or, you know, caring about that game. So, and that's how I feel about Death Stranding. I'm really intrigued about the story. I want to see the graphics, but whether I actually want to play the game, I'm more than happy to watch a YouTube video on it or a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be obviously all the talk around the water cooler for a few months at the very least once this drops next month. Like, it's just going to be a very polarizing game. Will it be critically reviewed and acclaimed? We don't know, but at least it's going to have a lot of people talking.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be the talk of the town.
But yeah, that's the news. Miss Hart, got anything you want to say before we say bye-bye?
I just want to give a little comment to anyone that is one of my friends on Pokemon Go and they haven't received gifts from me. I am being rorted. Pokemon Go is currently going through this thing. We got a Halloween thing, which is kind of cute. There's a Squirtle with a cute little top hat, just so I'll let you know, Brendan. It's kind of cute. However, they've changed things now where Pokestops don't release gifts as much as they used to. So now I'm looking like a bad friend. Truth be told, I'm lucky to get a gift a day. That's how bad it is.
God, what is going on in the Pokemon world? There's a bloody production freeze in the warehouses there with all these gifts. I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. It was an update that they did, and I'm looking like a bad friend.
I'm sure they'd all be feeling the same. I think everyone else would be dealing with these same gift shortfalls. So don't feel too bad. Don't beat yourself up too much. Instead, beat up rival trainers in Pokemon Go instead.
I don't get to go against rival trainers. Oh, yes, I do. In the gyms. Never mind. Carry on.
Gyms. So this has been episode 170 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Thanks again to the legends at Audio Technica. You can check out their website, audiotechnica.com or audiotechnica.com.au for the ANZ-based listeners. Grab yourself the best in audio-based equipment. We're talking headphones, microphones, gaming headsets, turntables, and everything else in between. And as I said before, rate, review, subscribe us as well as all the other members of the hashtag 8bit Collective and all those other podcasts you listen to on the daily, because those ratings and reviews help keep the emotional lights on in our hearts. But find Miss Ellie Hart at Miss Ellie Hart, find Salim at Salim TD, find me at Brendan 8bit, and find us all at We Are 8bit. But until next week, 8bit Nation, we come back for episode 171. Much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.